prime suspects were an LAPD officer, well, a former LAPD officer by then. He'd already been convicted of, or was about to be convicted of bank robbery. But, his friend, Emir Muhammad. So, but Russell was stopped at every turn. He couldn't pursue the case at all. Brass at robbery homicide told him, "You're not going that way, we won't let you do it," no matter what evidence he found. And he found significant evidence that Greg doesn't mention in his book or slides over. But I'll be happy to provide some examples of that. But anyway, so, I mean...
You're a dick.
Hey,
Fuck you.
Hey, man.
Greg's friend.
Sorry.
All right, man. Hey. We got, these guys came here.
No, look, we're not, this isn't friendly. I mean, he has disrespected and abused the memory of my friend Russell Poole.
I have disrespected
You have,
Russell Poole.
certainly.
We can't hear you, Greg.
I have done nothing other than say that I thought that Russ lost his objectivity. I said that I knew that in the end years.
Okay, well...
There is no way, hold on a second, there is no way that I have maligned him more than you did in your own book by describing his life. I mentioned his professional career and what I thought he did objectively wrong.
Russell's family loves me. They love everything I've written about him. I don't think they feel he was
Of course they
maligned.
don't, because I opposed his theory.
Okay, well, I don't want to, if we're going to talk about the differences, then I'd
I
rather
say
be
that I've
specific.
personally maligned him, because I never have.
Okay, actually, I think this kind of right away.
Well, anyway, there is some hostility because I do feel that you have maligned him. But let's, anyway, to continue with the story. Russell was enormously frustrated. He had all this evidence. He knew there was something wrong, but he didn't quite have the story put together, but it was all there in the documents. In the beginning of the case, and you could see at each turn how they stopped the investigation from moving forward, always when it pointed to police officers.
Right, and so Greg, just because everybody's not familiar with the weeds of this stuff, right? So I'm trying to also help people that may not be as familiar with this. So if you don't mind, Greg, I just want to start. It May 1st, 2006, your 43rd birthday. You get a call from LAPD's robbery homicide division. What did they tell you?
So I was working narcotics, and I was over in the city of El Monte doing a dope costume looking for dope. And I get a call from robbery homicide, and they're like, "Hey, Greg, we're reinvigorating the Christopher Wallace murder investigation." I said, "Okay." And I said, "Well, we're looking for fresh eyes. We want some people that aren't from RHD. We want people that don't really know anything about the case, and we'd like you to come over and be part of a renewed task force." So I get there, I meet with Brian, I meet with 3 or 4 other LAPD guys, and I said, "Well, what's my role here?" I said, "Dig in." And this is what I faced, was 97 4-inch boxes of investigative material. So that was 9 years worth of investigative material at the time. And so, I said, "I'm gonna need a lot of help." And they said, "You can have whatever you want and whoever you want." So I immediately reached out to a guy that I knew more about the rap game, knew more about black gangs, and knew more about this story than anybody in the LAPD, and his name is Darren Dupree. And so we brought him over, and several other people, and then I went one step beyond that. I said, "I would like to federalize this case. I want to go outside of the department, because A, we need their resources, and B, we need their credentials. If the LAPD comes back and says, 'Hey, we didn't do it,' what good is that? Everybody's saying that you did, and you just can't self-exonerate yourself." So I said, let's get the U.S. Attorney's Office, let's get the FBI, the DEA, everybody that we can. And we built a task force of 18 different people. And although I get some credit for being the vanguard of that, this was a massive group of people all collectively working together, most of who were outside of the LAPD.
All right, real quick before we come back to your so Russell Poole's name came up. He was obviously deeply involved in these initial investigations. A point of contention here is obviously Russell Poole's work. What did you think of the previous investigations by the LAPD?
The very first thing I did when I got assigned to this investigation was I read the book LAByrinth. And I found it to be very compelling. I thought, wow, if this is true, this is really interesting stuff. And so we began to build an investigative strategy where we were going to take all the competing theories, the Southside Crips, Suge Knight and the Mob Piru, Russell Poole with the Dirty Cop. We just looked at everything practical. We weren't doing the ones that were way off like Tupac, with certain people like, clues came in from everywhere. Let me tell you, we were just overwhelmed. We took the things that were the most plausible and began to work with them. The first one we really dove into was Russell Poole's. And we began to look at the foundation of his claims. And faster than we expected, we were able to determine that the foundation fell apart. And everything that was built on that foundation necessarily had to fall with it. And so when we began to investigate those claims, in a matter of months, we knew that Russell Poole's theory could not hold mustard, that we could not use his theory as a viable proposition for the crime.
Right. And Randall Sullivan, obviously, you were close to Russell. What do you think of that contention, and more broadly, what do you think of Detective Poole's work?
Well, I think Russell Poole did the investigation. I think Russell Poole did the investigation of this case. When Greg says that he looked into and disproved Russell's theory, I tell you I cannot believe it.
But why not? Why do you think I'm going to lie about that?
I would like to, Perry Sanders and Sandy Rivera, who were two of the attorneys for Valletta Wallace and the Wallace estate. They met with you on November 3rd, 2011, right after the book came out. I'd like to read to you what they told me about that meeting.
Keep in mind, this is Biggie's attorneys who are suing the city.
This is Biggie's family's attorney. Yeah,
We're suing the city.
All right. Well, this is what Sanders said. My main point, obviously, was to see what he'd done to supposedly eliminate cops, the suspects in the Biggie murder. I went through it point by point, and he hadn't run down even one of the things I asked about. Not one. So when he says the first thing he did was absolutely eliminate cops as suspects by running down every piece of supposed evidence, that's a lie. It's a blatant lie. And this is what Sandy Rivera said. She was actually, her father was the chief of police in San Francisco, and she was actually sort of sympathetic to you, Greg, because she felt that you sort of had the wool pulled over your eyes. And she said it was obvious that there was a lot he didn't know. The LAPD had kept a lot from him, including all of the informant interviews. She goes through a whole list of stuff that you didn't know about and couldn't answer questions about. I'm thinking, the poor guy doesn't realize how the LAPD pulled the wool over his eyes. Gradually, though, it became obvious that Kading hadn't really minded having the wool pulled over his eyes. He didn't get upset or pissed off at the LAPD when Perry told him all the stuff he didn't know. But he did get pissed at Perry for pointing it all out and telling him how little he actually knew about the case. I figured, okay, now this guy has a choice. Now that he knows how much of what he's saying is bullshit, he can go back and try to make it right. But Kading didn't do anything like that. He just stuck with the bullshit. Whether it was laziness or he doesn't give a shit, I couldn't tell you. What I really think, his book was out and didn't want to deal with any more information.
Okay.
Brandon, you gotta respond to that.
Yeah, so let me ask you why you believe that to be true.
Well, I know both of them and trust both of them.
Did you ever think that I should maybe get a Greg Kading's impression of that? Did you ever think that, why don't I call Greg and see what he has to say
I
about
actually
this?
was trying to get together with you when we shot at whatever that ABC thing was here, and your lawyer said you couldn't.
I am the easiest fucking guy in the world to find. I am out there all the time.
Here
It
we are
takes
now.
one email, and I would have done the same thing to you that I would have done to Russell, is show him everything that we had.
All right,
Let
so-
me just point something out to you. For a guy that doesn't know anything about what's going on in the case, you saw the pictures here of what this started out like. That was 97 4-inch binders when we started. Those are the boxes when we finished. All right? That is beyond the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Right.
We worked our fucking asses off and dug into this thing and turned over every possible stone we could. So for somebody to suggest that we didn't do anything or I somehow duped, it's absolutely ridiculous and offensive.
Greg, I can only judge on the basis of what you said
No,
publicly.
you're judging on the basis of what other people said.
I'm judging you on the basis.
You should have
of
called
what
me
you're
and said, hey, Greg, let's have a
I'm
conversation.
judging you on, we're having one right now. I'm judging on the basis of what you wrote in your book and the things you, I have to say, Greg, you were very clever. The things that, your falsities were mostly lies of omission.
Randall, let me ask, because
I'll give you some good examples if you like.
Randall, let me just say, so why, just for our edification, why did you not reach out to Greg?
I did try, he was supposed to come to some meeting at a TV show that was done by ABC, Biggie, who killed Biggie and Tupac, and his lawyer called at the last moment and said he couldn't come, he couldn't do it.
Is that?
There's some truth to me not making it to that because I was already under
Well, I was
contract.
expecting to see you speak.
But wait a second, that doesn't let anybody off the hook. You could have just called me the next day or prior to that. You could have gotten a hold of me anytime. I'd have shown you everything in this investigative, and then you could have made a more rounded decision about what you actually believe. But you've taken an argument from one side and then concluded that that was true.
That's not true, Greg. I based it on what you wrote in your book and what you left out of your book. I'll give you one example, because this one really sticks in my mind. It's only one of many. But you referred to the fact that Biggie had been killed by some relatively rare German ammunition. And that's in your book.
Okay.
Actually, that ammunition, which is called Gecko ammunition, it's a German bullet. It's only ever been used in one crime in the history of the United States, according to you have to be eyes out of date, which is up to that. Well, this, are you telling? Well, I'm not talking about since then. I'm talking about up to that time.
Okay.
All right,
Well, Greg, I have that from Phil Carson, who's the FBI's lead investigator.
Did you ever say, Greg, do you think this is true? You've written in your
Well,
book.
just a second, you're gonna let me finish.
all right, let's move off of that, because I think that like what people want to know is like what you guys think.
Well, this is
Not argue over the rules.
this is a critical question.
Greg left out is that ammunition, that incredibly rare ammunition, an entire case of boxes of it were found in the garage of David Mack. You left that out of your book.
Because it never happened.
It did happen. The FBI took.
I have their property report.
The
Why wouldn't it be listed
Well,
on
you
there?
know what? Then Phil Carson's a liar and
Well, then you
he's
should
fraudulent
get Phil Carson
document.
and ask Phil Carson why.
See, I feel like this is something that can actually
That's
be
actually,
resolved.
that's in the LAPD.
I have an
I have
opportunity. Let me respond to that.
Okay.
I think I have the right.
Let's move on, because people want to learn.
Gecko ammunition, rare ammunition, Biggie Smalls was in fact killed with this ammunition that they then began to tout as rare ammunition. The reason they said that is because it's only distributed in 2 places in the United States. It's imported from Germany. They have a wholesale warehouse in New Jersey, and there's a wholesale warehouse in Corona, California. 2 places, wholesale. It's sold all over Southern California. There was 14 different gun stores that sold this ammunition. After Tupac Shakur was killed in Las Vegas, and there was raids done at the Southside Crips house because they believed that they were involved in Tupac's murder, Gecko ammunition was being found in the houses of those Southside Crip gang members. This is before Biggie's killed. Here's a report right here, an analyzed evidence report from 4/2/97. Wilshire Division, same division that Biggie Smalls was killed in. 3 weeks after, Gecko ammunition is used in another crime. Does that sound extremely rare to you?
Okay.
That was over a month.
Okay,
That was over a month after
Guys,
Biggie's murder. Up to that time,
guys,
not
okay,
a
is that
single
rare?
crime.
Hey, is that rare? Hey, guys,
You described it as rare in your book.
hey, Randall, can y'all just slow down for a second?
Oh, that is a lie.
Okay,
You described it as
hey,
rare.
hey guys, please, come on, just for a second, all right? Because I mean, I think that like impugning each other's motives in here is like not very helpful. People want to hear like what you guys think, like, and I know that you guys like have legitimate beefs with each other, but like, listen for a second, listen for a second, like, people want to know what you guys know and you guys know alike.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Like and comment below to give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related videos to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description and listen to our weekly podcast, The Gangster Chronicles, every Thursday. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.